been searching for the perfect Chromebook for a long time. The latest from ASUS, the Chromebook Flip, isn't it, but it's still a solid machine that's worth considering if you want for a quality, inexpensive laptop. Last year's Flip was cheap, but made far too many compromises. It had a dim, low-resolution 10-inch screen and a small keyboard. ASUS fixed most of those hardware problems with this latest model. The 12.5-inch display still isn't the brightest or nicest I've seen, but it's a major improvement compared to last year's. The resolution has nearly doubled to 2400 by 1350, but you'll be better off running in one of the scaled-down modes. It defaults to 1080p. It's also a touchscreen, which hasn't meant much to Chromebooks in the past, but this one runs Android apps, which we'll dive into a little later. As you'd expect from its name, the Chromebook Flip has a 360-degree hinge, which lets you convert this laptop into a tablet or stand it up on a table like a tent. But tablet mode isn't really a great option here. It weighs more than 2.5 pounds, a full pound more than an iPad Pro. It's usable in a pinch, but I personally don't ever want to use a computer like this. The bigger screen means the Chromebook Flip is larger and heavier than its predecessor, but that's just fine with me, particularly because the extra size let ASUS increase the size of the keyboard and trackpad. I had no problems using this computer all day long, something I couldn't say about last year's Flip. ASUS smartly replaced the rather feeble, underpowered Rockchip processor with an Intel Core M3 paired with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. That's pretty typical for what you'll see in most Chromebooks these days, and it handled just about all the tasks I threw at it. Of course, this is a Chromebook, so you won't be doing 4K video editing or similarly intense tasks, but it readily handles basic computing needs. Like the display, battery life was respectable, but not outstanding. It lasted a solid 7 hours and 47 minutes in our battery test. In normal use, I couldn't quite get a full day out of it, but I wasn't diving for the charger too frequently either. That's down from last year's model, but the more powerful processor and higher resolution screen are a worthwhile trade-off. As I mentioned, the Chromebook Flip is one of the first to work with Android apps in the Google Play Store right out of the box. In most situations, you're better off using a web app over its Android equivalent. However, occasionally having access to Android comes in very handy. Adobe's Lightroom mobile app is probably the best photo editor to hit a Chromebook, and being able to download Netflix shows for offline viewing will definitely make the Flip a solid travel companion. Games like Alto's Adventure, Asphalt 8, and Rayman Adventures also work pretty well. The Intel M3 generally powered through most Android apps I tried without any trouble, though the Play Store is technically still in beta, so there were a few occasional hang-ups and stutters. Many Chromebooks have moved away from their cheap laptop roots, and the Flip is no exception. It's a thin, light, and capable laptop, and it's priced accordingly at $469. That's a lot more than the $300 most Chromebooks used to be priced at, but I'll gladly pay more for better hardware. The Chromebook Flip isn't perfect. I'd prefer a slightly better screen and longer battery life, but it feels like a very polished and capable computer for its price point. Its closest competitor is Samsung's $550 Chromebook Pro. That extra cash buys you a better screen and Samsung's S Pen stylus, but both machines have similar specs and can run all the same software. You'll want to make sure that Chrome OS and Android apps can do everything you need, but that combo has proven to be quite capable. Most average computer buyers should be able to do just about everything they want using Chrome OS. So, if you're looking for a Chromebook that's nicer than most of its competitors while keeping the price under $500, the ASUS Chromebook Flip is a worthy choice.